It's working. It's going the opposite ways that it usually goes in here. Usually the chat stuff, I see things up top first, and now I'm seeing it bottom first. Interesting. I don't know. But either way, Emily, you're first. You're first to comment anyway. So you're like, I made it. Hey. Well, hello. Hello to you. Maria Elena, hello. Hola, hola. Whiplash, finally caught alive. Got a notification. Woohoo. YouTube worked for at least one person here today. Jamie Marshall, hello. It's Lathan. Hello, love. Elena says finally caught live too. Yay. Oh, thanks, Emily. Jessica Hamilton, hello. Awesome. I'm glad that the notifications went out to some people. At least some folks got a notification. So, hey, we will take that. We will take that. Let's see. Aw. 16 months for It's Lathan. Lord of mercy. Almost forgot sending love. Love back to you. Love back to you. Awesome. Let's see. Is my phone... Why is my phone going off? Okay. I am not entirely sure. It vibrated, but I don't know why. I do not see a notification. Hey, Natalie. Hello. Hello, hello. And Sexy Kitten, hello. Awesome. It's good to get to touch base again. I was looking at my thing here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since the last live stream. It kind of, in some ways, it doesn't seem like it's been 3 weeks because it's like, you know, how the hell did 3 weeks go by? Like, where has time gone? But in some weeks, I'm like, oh my God. It has been a lot of shit happening. And so time-wise, it doesn't feel like 3 weeks. But the amount of shit that has happened between then and now, that feels like more than 3 weeks. If that makes sense. How we perking be, Natalie? Perking good. I can't complain, even if I might. Even if I do sometimes. I've really got no reason to. Overall, things are good. Gene Woodall. Okay, well, I'm glad it notified you. I'm glad it notified you. Here I am. I do believe that the crotch fruit is next door. Or should be soon. That's funny. Let's see. We'll see. I'm glad some notifications went out, so I don't know if everyone got lucky enough to get notified, but apparently it notified some people. So, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. These are wins. These are wins. Pop, pop. Whiplash says hello to everyone coming in. Wendy Sales 225, hello! You know what? I just noticed, Wendy, about the little key in the house that's by your name. I think that's really cute. How appropriate. Jenna M, hello, hello. Universe just knew I needed to pick me up. Aw, homeless right now, so desperate for a distraction. I'm really sorry to hear about those circumstances. I hate that we're living in times where that kind of thing is becoming a reality for a lot of people. People think of being homeless as like, oh, someone did something wrong, or they're stupid, or they're a screw up in life, or any number of things. But the truth of it is that it's a very transient thing, and people experience homelessness all the time in all walks of life for all kinds of reasons, especially in hard times like now. And so I'm really sorry to hear that that's going on in your life right now and that you're struggling. And I really hope that this live stream does provide a distraction. You say you're in need of a distraction. I hope that it does bring that for you, and give you a little something to think about outside of your circumstances for just a minute. You know, people talk bad about escapism and stuff and spirituality, but it's okay to have moments where we focus on something else that feels better for a time. Like, that's okay. Some people, if we didn't have outlets like that, we wouldn't even want to stick around. So I think that that's good. I hope we can help you. I hope we can. Yes, playtime. Emily said it did for me. Yay for the notifications. And aw, thanks, it's Lathan. Don't forget to like the video. That was sweet of you. Oracle Persephone, hello. Thank you, Whiplash. Amy Moody, hi. And Oracle Persephone says, yes, it's such a growing problem. A lot of DV victims end up without homes. Yeah. And people who get stuck in this, like, okay. Speaking frank, I know that my housing costs are going up. I know that people who pay rent have to pay more in rent now than they used to. I know people who pay mortgages have their mortgages climbing up. And yet a lot of us are not getting paid more, but yet gas and groceries and everything cost more. And so it's all just way out of control. And there's so many people that are not able to keep up with things for any number of very reasonable reasons. And it's sad, and it makes me upset with the powers that be that could do more about that and have not. Even in cold ass Canada, Lord. Elena says, my husband has his immigration interview this month. It's been almost 5 years. You're right. Interview this month. Man, I'm just trying to like do the whole Care Bear stare where you like send out all the beams your way and your hubby's way. It's like, big interview with immigration. Yes. Oh man. I'm hoping for all the best for y'all. Man, that's intense. Jenna says, life has literally been one string of bad events after another. Thanks for the love. Life can be like that sometimes. And I know that it's like that more for some people seemingly than for others. And not necessarily, sometimes for any reason that seems to be associated with the person themselves. And so it's complicated, and I'm sorry. And of course, Wendy, resident expert here on all of this related to housing across the board and nation, housing is going up. It's hard on many right now and breaks my heart. Absolutely. As someone in housing that has to see this day in and day out professionally, I know that Wendy's got probably lots of stories or insights or things that could be shared. Just seeing stuff, it's just tough. Whiplash says, we're getting rain today, which is a huge blessing. Our crops need it desperately. Well, I am glad that you're getting blessed. At all times where bad shit's going on, it's great when we can see the good things going on as well, so we can balance them out together. Again, I'm a big proponent of not doing the whole toxic positivity where, no, don't worry about that, sweep that under the rug, just think positive. Like, that's toxic, that's unhealthy, that's invalidating, that's insensitive, and fuck that. But I'm also not for the other side of the perspective where we just, how do you call it, in my line of work, you call it admiring the problem, where all you want to do is talk about the problem and yeah, and this and this and this and yeah, that and that. Well, mine does like this. Well, mine is like this, and oh, mine is like this, and this is how this happened, and yeah, this is bad because of that. It's bad because of that, and blah, blah, blah. And you just sat there and like in meetings at work, talked an hour about the problem, and nobody ever got to solutions or problem solving or things like that. So we call that admiring the problem. That's unhealthy, toxic, fucked up, not useful either. So fuck that as well. I like having a balance between both worlds where we acknowledge both sides and we accept that both sides are present, and we make a point to give voice and attention to both sides. And, when and how and where that happens, it all depends on the process. Sometimes you spend a little more time over here, sometimes you spend a little more time over here. As long as we can flow between the two and acknowledge both, there's some healthiness to that. And so I really like doing that, because if people are really, really low and all they're looking at is the bad shit and never looking at the positive, then they're going to stay low just by virtue of what you think about, you continue to bring about, and you just kind of stay stuck in a difficult mindset, and that makes it hard to get up, out, and beyond in any kind of way. At the same time, if you are in a place where you're thinking positive all the time, and you don't want to think a bad thought, you don't want to feel bad feelings, I don't want to be scared, or I don't want to feel anxiety, or I don't want to feel depression, or I don't want to feel any of these things. Let me just compartmentalize it, push it away, push it down, stick it down, ignore it, it's not happening, then that is gonna screw you over too, and that's gonna hinder your ability to get through and get beyond, because you're not acknowledging it. And so it's really tough kind of doing a little bit of a dance between the two, and I am not saying that I've got that figured out for myself. It's one of those things that I think you just keep learning as you go. You're never done with that. But yeah, I always find that real interesting. And I like for us to do both on this channel. I don't like to ignore people when they talk about things that are going wrong, but I also don't like to not acknowledge some things that go right. So I'm sorry for the things going wrong for people tonight, and I'm also excited that your crops got some rain whiplashed. So that's cool too. Gigi Dodson, hello. Let's see. Gigi says, as a person with invisible disabilities with prescriptions that I need to stay alive, pharmacies, or at least mine, have a delay in getting much needed drugs. There's a lot of problems with stuff like that going on right now too. You're right. I'm seeing that in so many places that it's ridiculous. Better with the Irish, hello. We finally got alive too. Oracle Persephone, welcome to the Perk Squad. Shout out on Vizio to Oracle Persephone, and welcome to the Perk Squad. Penelope welcomes you too. Glad to have you. Oh, it's like they said, welcome new member. Christine Covey, hello. From the Frozen Eyeballs land. It's an inside joke. Except for how inside can it be if the joke happened on public platforms like this during live streams that is open to everyone? Is that still considered an inside joke? I don't know. Yeah, supply shortages are kind of messing up a lot of things. So messing up things with medications like y'all are talking about. And a few weeks ago, remember when my air conditioning went out and I was without air conditioning in this house in the south, the deep south, for 2 whole fucking weeks, 91 degrees in the house, even while I tried to sleep at night because the supply chain issues with getting air conditionings. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, that's just like, it's going into so many different sectors. It's unbelievable. We do mean you, Oracle Persephone. Morgan Adams, hello, hello. Just finished tornado cleanup here and now making dinner. So happy to have you listen along to. I am happy to be here, to be somebody cares to listen to as you do what you gotta do. I do that too. All the time I'll be listening to people as I'm folding laundry or washing dishes or any number of things. I'm like, let me listen to something while I do these things. It makes the task that much less insufferable. And hopefully everything's okay. If you're talking about tornado cleanup, hell, that sounds like a big deal. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Emily Vay, hello, hello. Water Lily, hey. Miss Peaches, hello. So glad y'all are here. Nebula's fart. I will never tire of that. That's hilarious. Hello and welcome. Aw, thank you, Haley M. First of all, hello to you, and thank you for the super chat. You said, been watching you for a couple years now. Still love you, Curly Goddess. Aw, you're too sweet. I appreciate you. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Haley. Frozen eyeball phobia. I mean... Christine, it's real. Spirit guides need to just tell us what to do to fix everything in the world. They kind of do, but we don't prioritize it and do it, and so it kind of doesn't work. Mostly what they have said is fix ourselves, and that kind of fixes everything else. I was using this same analogy with somebody in a private reading lately, but you know how like when people have a goal like I need to lose weight, you know, I want to start a weight loss journey, I really want to lose weight. A lot of people that will take them on as a client to help coach them through that say, listen, what we're going to do is teach you how to eat healthily, drink healthily, sleep healthily, make healthy habits in your life. And weight loss will be a natural byproduct of that. And this is kind of the same, where spirit guides are like, if every single person on this planet were to work on themselves and prioritize their mental, emotional, psychological, physical, spiritual health in every way you can, and they made that a real priority to engage with that process over and over and over in some varying degree every single day, we would see massive, massive, massive changes in the world. And we don't do that. Some of us because we don't know how. Some of us because we don't feel like we need fixing, other people need fixing. Some of us because we don't have time to, because we feel like society's not set up in a way that supports us having the time and ability and access or affordability or things to be able to do stuff like that. There's a lot of reasons of why it doesn't happen, but apparently that from the spirit guides is one of the biggest things that would make a huge difference, is if every single person on the planet committed to that as their number one priority in life, and other priorities, kind of fell along the wayside with it. I don't want to say fell along the wayside because that makes it sound like it went away, but like came into place next to it, I guess you could say, where it's like, that's my number one priority, is to make sure I can do this as a service to the world and everyone else, and then I'll do my other priorities accordingly. But we know how this world and society is structured, so easier said than done. Easier said than done. Nebulous fart. Even seeing a laughy face by your name, I just I can't. Whiplash says, that reminds me, I need to fold the laundry and load the dishwasher. I'll multitask. Go head on. Ruthie, hello. Morgan says everyone's okay. Neighbor lost their barn. Oh my God. And corn is flat, but so thankful everyone and their cattle is safe. Well, I'm thankful that y'all are safe too. But damn. Losing a barn. I hope that's covered covered under like a home insurance policy. I hope so. 'Cause that's got to be difficult. And even if it is, I know it's better than nothing, but it's way better to have not lost your barn to begin with. So I'm sorry that they lost it. I'm glad y'all are safe. Lauren Myers, hello. Looked here, a random live stream on 7/7. How lucky. You know what? I didn't even consciously do that, I don't guess. Yeah, I didn't even consciously realize that it was 7/7. And my time right now says 6:27 as well. So we got another 7 in there, even if it's a part of other numbers. Interesting. Wendy, so it's okay for me to go around telling everyone they need to get their shit together. I'm on it. You give that a try, girl. You give that a try. See where that goes. I don't want to set you up to get slapped. Ruthie Rebels, hello. I'm glad that you're here to catch the live stream too, Mr. Face. Gene XO, hello. Happy Thursday, yes. Billy Vay says, I'm trying to work more on myself. I feel like I focus growing up on trying to fix others instead of myself. That we do that. We're fixers. A lot of us feel like we're wired to be fixers, and we want to fix things and fix other people. And then along the way, we learn like, oh, it kinda doesn't work like that. In some ways, it does. You know, we can influence other people fixing themselves, helping themselves, working on themselves. We can influence that. We can encourage that. We can support that. But we don't usually cause that. And so, yeah. Interesting. Good point, though. Emily says, wish I knew growing up, that sort of thing, because it helps so much. Yeah, certain things just didn't get taught to us the way that could have been helpful when we were growing up. We got a lot of good lessons. But we're also kind of unwriting some things that we learned along the way too, and replacing it with things that are a little bit more effective and sustainable and shit like that. Agreed. Gene XO already off to a big start with all the helpful stuff. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Man, it's been a week. This is the first week of July, and it feels like holy hell. So, I don't even really know what to do with this. I had thought about like, okay, well, if I go live tonight, are we just chatting and hanging out? Are we gonna try to sling any cards? Do I feel up to slinging any cards? I don't know. I'm still kind of like, maybe I do, maybe I don't, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Like, I'm in a weird space about that right now. I think my brain is just trying to catch up and debrief to the fact that we're already a week into July and it's already been like a whirlwind. I'm glad that I was able to get the July predictions out though. On time. This time, since June, I was not on time. Yeah, me too, Emily Vay. I feel like July is going so fast. It really does feel like it's speeding by already. And maybe not in a great way, but not in the worst way either. It's just so weird. These are just weird times, and they're hard to articulate. What y'all got going on? slash what y'all want to talk about, slash what y'all want to do tonight. We've got a little bit of time to play with here, so I'll just take a little peek at what the room thinks. July hasn't treated, well, like, I feel bad to complain because I don't know that July has treated me bad necessarily. It's just been a lot. And kind of like I was saying on the last live, where I feel like I'm just on a very accelerated path where it's easy for me to say, wow, I've been hit with one shit thing after another shit thing after another shit thing after another shit thing. And that's actually true. I have been hit with a bunch of shit things for the last half year, like for the last year, really. A lot of really bad, shitty things. But that's also me filtering the positives. If I include the positives, I've also gone through a lot of good things. You know, some of them might have felt smaller than some of the bad things, but not necessarily. Like, I'd say one of the better things and one of the worst things all happened within the last year from now. With my daddy dying as being one of the worst things that's ever happened in my entire life. But then I got married, which is one of the really more positive things that's been able to happen in my life. And both of those things happened within the last 365 days around the sun. So I got to honor that. I'm trying to not be a messed up piece of shit this month for y'all, full disclosure, because in exactly 20 days is the anniversary of my daddy's death. And so I try not to let that be at the forefront of my mind, though I don't ignore it. You know, I acknowledge it because you need to acknowledge things to process things. But I try not to, like, have a ticker tape going every day and be like, you know, 21 more days, 20 more days, and be thinking about it on a loop, because that's not particularly helpful either. I try not to, but I'm going to tell you right now that I might end up being a little bit of a hot-ass mess this month. I'm going to do my best. But this being the very first year and it kind of coming up on a year and what that feels like to say that he's been gone a year and like all the things that comes with that, it's so foreign and weird and wrong and disorienting and bothersome that I, you know, have a hard time really understanding that. And so bear with me. But I think one thing I'm going to do, and I put it on my phone as a plan, and I hopefully it'll work out, you know, we'll see if it works out or not, but I put it on my phone as a plan that I think I'm going to do a video later this month, closer to that time, because, okay, mind, mouth, save, speed, because I feel like a lot of people who heard about my journey with that have either gone through it themselves and there was something about me sharing that made them feel seen, or they're going through it now and there's something about those videos I made that made them feel supported through their own process, or there's people that have not yet gone through it and they may want to hear from somebody who has, like, heads up, society makes you think this is how things are going to look and be and feel and, you know, whatever, but these things might be your experience. And if these things end up being a part of your experience, I want you to feel validated, seen, understood, heard, not alone, etc. And, you know, maybe even spending some time on things like debunking myths around grief, or maybe spending some times on these are the do's and don'ts of how you support people through their grief, or maybe some things of like, these are the weird things that happened that I would have never known could have been associated with that. And then maybe a little bit at the end of the video that, you know, kind of just gives my daddy a little moment and talk about him and not me. So I'm thinking about doing something like that later this month, if I can bring myself to do it. We'll see. I intend to, but no promises, which is something he used to tell me, is no promises. So if he ever said I promise, it meant fucking for real. It was going to happen come hell or high water, because otherwise he'd say no promises if he wasn't sure whether or not something would happen. But yeah. Let me go back up and see what all I've missed, because I have talked y'all's ears hot. Alrighty. Morgan Adams says, ask Spirit for some good news upcoming. We all need it. Okay, that's an idea. Thank you for bringing that one up. Emily Valdick, I just feel like eek all the damn time. I feel you in my spirit. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The chat skipped. Hopefully that's what happens when I don't read it too fast enough. It starts skipping. How are you feeling physically and mentally? Scared to leave the house because of the shootings? Lord, that's an intense part of our culture, especially here in America, that's not necessarily something that happens quite as pervasively in other countries. So yeah, that's a whole topic. I don't know how I feel. Like, I have lots of mixed feels. I think that's the better way to put it for me. Oh, man. Learning how to forgive ourselves, Emily Vay. Yeah. That's a tough one. Letting go of anything. The idea of letting go in any kind of capacity is not an easy one. Oracle Persephone, same Ruthie, scared for my son who's starting school soon. And it's sad that you have to be scared for your son to go to school, which is, you know, long since thought of as the safest place that they can be during the day, you know? I don't have any human babies myself, but I do have 3 nieces. I have 2 nieces and 1 nephew. I was like, how do you say nieces and nephews if there's only 1 nephew? That's school aged. I have 2 nieces and a nephew that are in school, and I think about that kind of stuff, and it bothers me, and I have to be like, no intrusive thoughts about that. It's not happening now, so don't put it out there into the universe. Do not have intrusive thoughts about that. I have hard times with that sometimes too. KGB, hello. You're like, dang, when it rains, it pours. When a shitstorm rolls in. You got that right. Bev Ismay, is it Ismay? I hope I'm saying it right, but hello, Bev. Hello. Ruthie Robles, we had a white supremacist march around my town, over 1,000. Where the hell do you live? I mean, I'm in the South, but... Oh, that's intense. I'm sorry, first of all. That does not promote a feeling of safety. Let's see. Natalie's thinking about personal readings. And Morgan already said about trying to find something that's kind of a positive read. Like asking the guides about something positive to talk about or to read on, so that we can have a positive message. So we're kind of getting 2 ideas here. Thank y'all for your ideas. Whiplash says, July is always super busy for our family. Just hope the rest of the world doesn't become a dumpster fire before I don't have time for that. Man. You said it. Regina Long, first of all, hello. Second of all, you vote mini personals. Okay. Aw, Lauren, how badly I would love to keep hugging you and the family, B. I feel the hugs. I feel the hugs. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Lady Kit Kat, hello, hello. You're like, oh, maybe talk about the physical symptoms of going through grief. That's on the, on the list that I was just talking about. And like on my, I guess the list is in my head about like I was tossing around ideas. That was part of it because I've had a lot of that. Like a lot of that to the point that it's been incredibly frustrating and at some points in time debilitating, which is not... I've been privileged enough in my body that it is not a common experience for me and my body to be physically debilitated by things. And I've had that kind of stuff happen physically in this last year since Daddy died. And it seems to be as a result of the grief. And that has been a big, like, whoa for me. Because people talk about it as a purely emotional thing. And it's physical, it's mental, it's psychological, it's spiritual, it's everything. All encompassing. So thank you for that, Lady Kit Kat. I'm on that same wavelength as you, so if I can pull myself to make that video, then that will be included in it. And yep, Bev, totally agree. I say you can't put a time limit on grief. You have to take it at your own pace. I hear you, Bev. And I agree. A lot of people are like, get over it. Why aren't you over it yet? They don't say that to me. I've heard people insensitively say that to other people and about other people, and that grinds my gears. I have been very fortunate that nobody has dared say that to me yet. Because honestly, I'm a triple fire sign with my chart being 65% fire. And as nice as a person as I am, and as I try very, very hard to never say a mean thing to anybody ever, I'm even tough to be critical on people. It's not in my nature to even be critical of people. You will catch me losing it on somebody if somebody were to say that to me. They would regret that shit. They would regret them that shit. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Thank you for the little super chat sticker, Oracle Persephone. Thank you. The little blown kiss by the fruit. Blessed be the fruit. That's something that Alma says. I don't know why she says it. I don't know where but she said, blessed be the fruit. That's the little pear is cute. Thank you. I appreciate that, Oracle Persephone. Brazil the Codra, hello. Thank you for being here. Love to have you. Oh, man. Ronnie B, hello. You lost your husband and 3 children. Trust me, my husband died 28 years ago, but it was his birthday last week. And even after all this time, I was out of sorts. We're here for you, lovey. Just be you. Well, every time I read that, I just feel like, for you, because I know you've been so kind as to share that, to try to help me as I've gone through my process this year, and it just humbles me that you've had to lose a husband and 3 kids, and that's just an unimaginable level that I can't possibly understand, and I empathize from my own place of understanding of knowing what it feels like to go through what I've gone through, and I can only imagine how that would be if it was to the extent that you've gone through. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to do like the whole grief Olympics of whose pain is worse and whatever, and I know nobody else is trying to do that either. I'm just saying right now that I'm not, doing that just in case anybody thought I was. Hopefully nobody did. But I just wanted to voice that. I hate when people have to go through such hard stuff, and I get really, like I said, humbled to the point that I'm just like, I almost have admiration for people who go through that kind of stuff, and they're like still here, and they're still like doing life, and they're still figuring it out, and they're still working on it, and they're still, trying and putting one leg in front of the other, and, giving it a solid go and all of that. And like, it's just that, to me, that's a big deal. Like, that's a level of resiliency that I feel like people should take notice of, and respect and honor that, because I really do. Goodness gracious. So thank you, Ronnie. Natalie, so simple. This world is a crazy mess. Dumpster fire emoji. You might win the chat. Winning the chat is between your statement there and Nebulous Fart's name. Oh my goodness. Terry Moore! Got 23 months. Holy crap. Has the Perk Squad been around for 23 months already? We're almost at the 2-year mark for the Perk Squad? What? Is that for real? Is next month literally 2 years that the Perk Squad's been there? Let me write that down. I need to write that down. Let me write that down. I might have to do something special for the Perk Squad in August to celebrate. I don't know what the hell I'm saying or singing or whatever, but I'm gonna make note. So okay, 2-year Perk Squad anniversary month. Okay, I'm just putting it here. So on my phone so that I can do something special next month. Let's see. All right. Got it in my phone. Man, that's crazy. How long have I been doing YouTube? Oh my gosh. Upstate New York, Ruthie Robles. Wow. In the upstate. There's that many supremacists in upstate New York? Or like, did they like come from far and wide to gather there? Like, is this these were all local people and there's that many of them locally? Or this was just some like convention of sorts where they all like, let's all convene in upstate New York for this or something? Like, holy hell. I am sorry. I mean, this is the fucking South where there's some mindsets like that, and still, if there was some big march about it down here, a lot of people would be really weirded out and uncomfortable and feeling some type of way about it. Jamel Swain, hello. Welcome. What's going on today? So far we're just chatting and talking and figuring it out and considering ideas and all kinds of things. Just hanging out together and seeing what everybody's got to say. And I might do a little mini read to try to get something positive from the spirit guides soon, just so we can have something to help with offsetting some of the bullshit that people have been feeling lately. Elizabeth Doughty, hello. I've considered about videos of how to connect with personal spirit guides, but then I'm like, I'm not necessarily the authority on that, am I? And so I'm like, there's probably tons of good YouTube videos on that out there already, and I don't know that my take would be any better than any of that. So I don't know. Emily Vay you said, I have a hard time of thinking more positive. I think so negatively a lot. I get stuck in my own mental prison. I need to work on getting myself out of that mindset. Easier said than done, very common, typical thing to do. I do it myself. In fact, in some ways, through evolution, we are somewhat predisposed to being that way because our brains are built to be really capable, really efficient, and so something that they do to maximize survival is to notice threats. Our brains are just wired to notice threats and make that very loud so that we'll do something about it. Because evolution says if you're a caveman and you walk out, of your cave in the morning stretching and yawning, is there a saber-toothed tiger that's going to eat you? Is there a woolly mammoth you need to kill? Is there some other people from another caveman tribe or something that's going to come out and try to kill you or whatever? Like, I don't know what exactly the threats that they had to deal with. I'm probably saying historically inaccurate shit, but you get the picture. There was a lot more that they had to worry about and contend with in a very physical, real way. And so brains are just wired to notice threats really fast, really easy, really loudly to bring it to our attention so we can take action fast. But the problem is that means we can have 1,000 attaboy, good job, and 1, dude, you did bad, you suck, you're shit, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to listen to that 1 before we listen to the 1,000 attaboys. And so it's like, that's the downside to it. So it gets tough trying to train our minds out of that because we're working with things that are kind of biologically built in there. So first of all, acknowledge that you're normal with that happening. Second of all, not acknowledge that your brain is trying to be your friend and do a service for you to keep you alive by doing that. So it meant well. And third of all, recognize too that sometimes if we think about trying to change our brain because it must be broken because it's doing these bad things, then we're really just reinforcing that same messaging of negativity and how defective we are in our own badness and wrongness or whatever. By thinking that way, we're just reinforcing that message, which in some ways is antithetical to getting to where we actually want to be. So sometimes getting out of that mental prison, as you put it, and thinking more positively and all of those kind of things, sometimes we can think about adding instead of taking away. Because sometimes taking away something, like taking away negative thinking or taking away self-criticism internally and whatever, sometimes that's harder to figure out how to do, and therapy and things like that can help with that. But sometimes something that can also help is, well, instead of trying to take those things away, let's add some positive things in. So, okay, maybe I'll think those things, but throughout the day, I'm going to be very intentional about adding good things in. Maybe I, every morning or every night, do a gratitude journal to name out all the things I could possibly think of that I'm grateful for, that I'm happy that I have, that, I don't want to take for granted, that it feels so nice to be able to know that I have this, or that I think that, or that I feel this, or that, whatever, fill in the blank. A gratitude list. Sometimes people like to add some kind of a feel-good exercise routine. Exercise is scientifically proven to increase endorphins flowing throughout your body. So some people might say, I'm going to add a daily 20-minute yoga practice where I just turn on a yoga guru on YouTube that I like, and I just, kind of do some stretches and stuff like that because it feels good and it's free. Some people might say, okay, something that I'm going to add that's thinking positive or contributing to positivity or something is I'm going to connect with a friend every single day, because sometimes we get stuck in our own loops in our own minds, and it's like, well, maybe every day I'm going to pick one friend to just be like, hey, just shooting a text to say hello, haven't chatted with you lately, hope you're doing good, whatever, and having some kind of little connection conversation, whatever it is. There's so many things. You could probably even Google, like if you're having a brain block, you could probably even Google cheap, easy little things that add positivity into a day, or to help you feel better, or whatever. You could probably let Google do the brain work for you if you don't want to try to figure out something that might work for you. But maybe adding some positive things in and making a consistent daily effort to be noticing and intentionally bringing those things in. After practicing that for a while, your brain, which is wired towards this way, starts to create some new paths over here to account for the fact that it's really getting used to you doing these things over here in a positive way. And so then it makes positive thinking a little bit easier and a little bit more natural and a little bit less difficult to come by. And so as you're doing the other work that you do, like trying to let go of negative things or working through therapy or whatever it is that you do, you might not be getting in your own way quite so much, because you've built up this muscle of noticing positives, acknowledging positives, building in positives, things like that along the way. So, those are just some ideas, just throwing them out there. I think that I should probably say, as I've said this, that I do have life coaching on my website. I think that's a kind of a funny, weird way to just loop that in. Did not intend to do that, but the whole thing that I've just been talking about feels very much like the kinds of things that I do in life coaching. And so if things like that are helpful to you, or you feel like it would be useful to have sessions with, talking through issues and stuff like that. When I say you, I don't necessarily mean you specifically, Emily. I'm saying the plural you, universal you, as in anybody watching this video today, tomorrow, next year, whatever, that if that kind of thing, working through feeling stuck, working through feeling stressed out, working through feeling unfulfilled, working through feeling, whatever kind of things, that kind of service might be helpful to you. So just throwing that out there, because that answer that I just gave to that chat message just felt very life coachy to me. So anywho, Sexy Kitten, thank you. You said thanks for all the readings you do for us. Well, thank you for the super chat, and thank you, It's Lathan, for your super chat. Y'all are so sweet. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chats. So again, thank you, Sexy Kitten and It's Lathan. I want y'all to have your proper shout outs. Man, I was just running my mouth, and y'all were being all sweet and shit, and I didn't even notice because I was running my mouth. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't notice in real time. I was just, man, thank you. Kiva writes, hello. Fire here too, Wendy Sales 225 says, I lost my father 8 years ago, and it's still hard. Mainly watching my mom is the hardest for me. That can be hard too. I feel ya. Kiva writes, how's it perking? Hope it's perking good. It's perking all right. I can't complain, Can't complain. Aw, Maria Elena says, I have a necklace with my grandfather's face, and I'll hold on to it when I need the extra help. Aw. See, I love, people have their own things that works, and I love that. Jamel Swain, are you a cowgirl? Am I a cowgirl? I'm Southern, so I probably have an accent, but I don't know jack shit about being a cowgirl. That would take a lot more physical work and difficult, dirty shit to do, literally, than I probably would ever want to do in a day. I'm a triple fire sign. I have 65% fire in my chart. I am fucked. My sun sign is Aries, Leo rising, and Sag moon. Brazil Dakota, hello. Oh, how do you become a member? Somebody's probably already answered this, but there's a link in the description and a blue join button as well that can take you to the page to become a member if you'd like to be one. Let's see. Thank y'all. There's a link as well for becoming a member, since it's giving you a hard time on your phone. Let me see. What was that link? Let me try to type it over here. www.youtube.com/c/bluecille/join. That's the link. If you're still here, if you still want to, join, if you haven't already, and I missed it because I'm behind, I apologize. I'm just catching up to some of the comments that I missed earlier, but that link should work, even if for whatever reason phones might not be showing the option. Sometimes the phones do weird stuff. I don't know why. Let's see. And okay, so GNXO already said about the little dollar symbol and after super chats and super stickers. Okay. You can Google to find out which sign you are. You can, type in your birthday and be like, my birthday is this. What zodiac sign is on this day? And it can tell you. A lot of people do it that way. It's just simple. Valerie Majares, hello. Excited to have you here with your little koala. Let's see. Oracle Persephone was like, yeah, Google zodiac signs. See, we all just do a quick little Google. I mean, it ain't cheating. If it makes it easy and simple, hey. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Terry Moore. Thank you. We all love you, B. Well, B loves you right back. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I love this community too. Agreed, Terry Moore. Agreed. Okay. AAOAA. Have no idea how to say the screen name, but hello to you and welcome. And thank you for being here. Let's see. My chat keeps jumping because I'm behind. I'm sorry. Evie Mendez, hello. Let's see. Ronnie B says, have you heard here in UK about 50 MPS step down forcing Boris Johnson to resign? It's a show the world over. I did hear today that Boris Johnson resigned, and I'm not always up to date on news in my own country, much less anybody else's, but I did hear that. I don't remember where I was watching YouTube and somebody said it. Somebody was like, oh, there's too many scandals. And this time he's going to have to resign, that, this time it can't be glossed over or whatever, or something like that. And just like, wow. I mean, I don't know if that's true. It's what I heard, but. Whew. Jamel figured out. Capricorn. Awesome. You are an earth sign. Preach. Well, I guess, because it's PRE7CH. Hello to you. Let's see. Did indeed predict a show for July, so that does kind of start it off, doesn't it? Right there. Oh, man. Oh, Ronnie. Ah, goodness gracious. Kelsey, you, hello. Robert Salinas, hello. I saw that come through and I was like, oh, snap, we're going to have another session. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited too. Oh, damn, the chat jumped again. See, it's because I got to catch up. I'm trying to catch up here. I am trying. I've had people type in the comments about CERN, but I have literally no idea. All I know is people were typing in the comments about CERN, but they were saying something about like July 5th or something, or some date that had already passed. And so I was like, well, whatever was going to happen or supposed to happen or did happen or whatever, I guess it's already gone. And so I guess I missed whatever it was, because I don't have a damn clue. And my brother told me about the Georgia Guidestones. First of all, I had never heard of those. And Georgia's in my back door. And I have never heard about Georgia Guidestones. But my brother told me literally like last night at midnight, like, oh, this thing happened. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is. And he's like, here, watch this documentary. And he sent me some documentary to watch. And so I've been listening to it little bit throughout today, like literally throughout the day today, as I'm like driving to a place. I'm listening to it on the radio and whatever, through the Bluetooth in the car or whatever. And, you know, listening to it as I'm doing chores around the house and shit like that. And so I've been listening to the documentary on it. So now I finally learned about them. And now they're gone. And I'm like, well, shit. I mean, I guess I'm not necessarily disappointed that they're gone, but it's like, well, damn, of course they're gone now, and I just freaking learned about it. I mean, I would have probably, knowing me, because it's in my backyard, I probably would have wanted to go visit them, even if it's kind of weird, just to be like, oh, I saw it. Oh, weird, you know, just to have the mystery and kind of see what I felt like energetically being there, but that's not an option now, so. No, man. So I know nothing about, like, it getting blown up or whatever, bombed or whatever. I know nothing about that. I'll have to look into that. The documentary was about, like, what it is or how it was built or, you know, all that kind of shit. Lauren says, Miss B, how are the jobs going? I know we don't talk about specifics, still curious since the babies have been pricey. Yeah, the babies are pricey. Yeah, I'm still doing my multiple jobs and trying to hold it down, and gonna probably start doing some stuff, like psychic related stuff in person too. Shortly in the near future, or maybe later this month, next month or something like that. There's one metaphysical shop somewhat in my area, like within a half-hour drive from here, that is interested in having somebody that does tarot, and so I might also kind of hop on and work part-time a little bit here and there with them as well. So taking on more stuff. But I got to my little Izzy girl. We're trying to figure out her skin allergy stuff and doing all the things, so that's pricey. So far, knock on wood, Bodhi's been stable. Got to figure out Scooter tummy stuff. So far, knock on wood, Teddy's been stable. So yeah, pricey little furry kidlets, and just trying to make sure I can afford to do it, because I really hate to try to put things on credit cards if I can absolutely help it, especially right now, knowing that I wouldn't be able to pay shit back because inflation and everything is so bad. I just am like, well, let me just work even harder and try to make even more money from working multiple jobs so that I can try to afford all the stuff for my little family, my little furry family. So I'm doing. That's why I'm not able to do like a video every other day or every 2 days, like how I used to for a time, kind of like every other day or every 2-3 days I'd have a video up for y'all, and I haven't been being able to do quite as many lately because I've got quite a bit more job responsibilities at various places and things, just trying to make sure I can keep up with the pace of the world financially. Fun. Usagi Divine, hello. Yay, the link works. Thank you, Whiplash. Sag with lots of water. That's gotta feel weird, Oracle Persephone. Mine feels too intense, and so it sucks. But yours, I don't know how that would feel. Trish Marie, hello. You're like, oh dang, only now joining. I gotta catch up. Hello, B. Hope all is well. It's lovely to see and hear from you in real time. Sending all my love to you and your fur babies too. Well, love back to you, Trisha Marie. Love back to you, and thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Gracias. Whiplash. I don't understand it completely either, Kelsey. I think they were saying that the things CERN has done in the past have jolted us into other planes, and why we have mandala effects. I'd have to read on this. That all this stuff looks like it's going over my head. I don't know if I'm smart enough to keep up with all of that conversation. I mean, it sounds interesting. I just have no idea. Like, I don't know. Shit. Wendy says, I'm Scorpio Sag, born 4 hours before the sun sign changed. Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't believe in cusps, and understandable, but when you're born 4 hours before the sun sign changes, that is a fucking cusp if I've ever seen one. Scorpio Sag cusp for real. Wow, that probably feels weird too, I reckon. Damn. Libra rising and Taurus moon. Well, you got a hell of a mix there in these top 3. You got a hell of a mix there, especially if you're counting it being a cusp. It's like you've literally got all the different kinds of signs, like Scorpio water, Sag fire, Libra air, Taurus earth. Like, you must be like a superhero, super powered mix of like Captain Planet, put our rings together and make all the people come out the woodwork and, you know, do all their shit, because whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Literally, I don't know what these words mean, but that's cool. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, hell. Help me, Jesus. Sweet little baby boy. Kelsey Hughes says, I have my Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, all in Capricorn and retrograde. Are you okay, Kelsey? That's probably a rhetorical question. I don't even expect you to answer that, because bless your heart. Good heavens. No shit, the chat jumped again. Let's see. America's Stonehenge. Oh, that's a way to word it. Only in the documentary. I'm sorry, like my brain was just working there for a second. There was like a weird pause. But the documentary that he had me watch, like, explained a lot of shit. And like, even down to who they're pretty sure even ordered to get it built and all of that. Let me pull it up here, because in case people were curious, because I mean, he had me watch it. I listened to it today. It's apparently called Dark Clouds Over Elberton, is what the Vigio is called. It's like a 2-hour video on YouTube. That's why it took me all day to sit there and listen to it while I was taking care of other stuff. It was interesting. And so now I've learned about them and they're fucking gone. And I'm like, well, you know, my luck, I learned about them and they're gone. But that's what I don't know where he found it. And I don't know why he was looking at it. I don't know nothing. I'm just trying to catch up with shit. A. I'm trying. Hello again. How did you discover your talent? By accident. That's the shortest answer I could give. I have some like videos from way back, like years ago, that are like those Q&A type videos where people ask me questions like that, and I'm almost certain that I've given like longer, more detailed answers in those, in case you were curious and you wanted kind of longer, more detailed answers. But the helping people thing, I've always wanted to do that, and I've always felt like I was pretty decent at it, and that people came to me for that, and I thought other people could do that, and realized later in life that not everybody is built for that, and that's okay. People are built for other things. And then as it related to kind of the, oh shit, sorry Penelope, bless your little heart, as it related to like psychic stuff and tarot, I actually never wanted to do tarot and kind of hated it when I first was asked to do it like as a reading, you know, like for things and topics and people and stuff like that. I would always kind of be like, no, I don't want to do it, you know, and didn't really enjoy it or think I was any good at it or whatever. And I don't know, you know, like it just kind of went from there. It's just very weird. It's not how I would have expected the journey to go, but I followed it and here I am. Been doing it for years and years now, and like if I could afford to do this full time and not have to have several jobs to make ends meet, I would do this full time. Yeah, hell yeah. Aw, thank you, Kelsey, you for the super chat for me and my new fur baby Benji. Well, aw, thank you, and thank you to Benji as well. Thank you, Kelsey and Benji, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Aw, Wendy for the puppies. Thank you. Puppies. They're, like I said, Teddy's been doing great, knock on wood, and Bodie has done quite well, knock on wood, with his issues that he had in January. So I feel very blessed for that. Scooter, we're figuring it out. It's just a tummy squirrel problem that we're trying to figure out, hoping it's nothing serious. Izzy and the skin allergy thing, it's just really bad, and we're doing all the things that you do. We're doing all the things homeopathic. We're doing all the things Western medicine. We're doing all the things from all the angles that, you know, for her, and trying to get her to a good place. And she's got another vet appointment next Wednesday. And so, you know, we're just trying. We're just gonna see. I just don't want her to suffer. She doesn't look great. She smells horrible. Even if you wash her in the appropriate, you know, professional vet recommended types of gentle shampoos and stuff, she will smell bad immediately after, because it's not that she's dirty, it's that her skin inflammation smells, and her, you know, all of, you know, leaking paintbrushes. I call it leaking paintbrushes. Really, it's shedding tufts of fur that are like such a tuft that it looks like the tip of a paintbrush, from her little skin allergies and things. You know, she's on vitamins, she's on medications, she's on naturopath things, and also Western medicines. We're trying lots of different angles for her, finding some things that help a little, some things that don't do shit, you know, and we're looking into some special foods to try, to do some elimination diet stuff for her, and that's what Wednesday's appointment is going to be about. So we're looking into that to see if we can help her through an elimination diet, puppy style, which is going to be hard because she is our little goat. She eats everything. She has puppy pica, so we puppy proof the house, because she'll try to eat anything. Like, I mean, a crayon, she'll want to eat it. Grass, she'll want to eat it. A beetle, she'll try to eat it. You know, it doesn't matter, like whatever. And so we have to really monitor her little slippery little bastard. We have to really monitor her because she gets like that. Right now, she's wearing shirts because it's the only thing that keeps her from chewing herself till she bleeds or scratching herself till she bleeds. We tried cones, and cones kept her from chewing, but she could still scratch with cones. And so we've had to put shirts on her because it keeps her from chewing and scratching and stuff. So we've done all the things, you know, not asking for advice. Nobody has to give me advice or anything like that. You know, thank you just for the love and the prayers and the support. That's all I ask for, and I appreciate it, Kelsey and Wendy. I do appreciate it. That will help. So we're gonna figure it out for her. We're gonna, you know, we ain't giving up on her. She's my baby. Before we got Teddy, she was the youngest. Before we got Teddy, and so she's not an old girl. She'll be 6 this year in October, but she's still just 5. In little Chihuahua years, 5 is not old. And so it's just unsettling, but we're getting her figured out. We're going to get her figured out. Mama's going to keep checking in, because if I can't get this new special shampoo and special food that we're going to try to get her on next week, if I can't get those things to work and help, then the next step is I'm going to ask for a referral to the puppy dermatologist that we have in the area and see what our next steps can be. If she needs specific allergy testing, you know, skin testing. They don't talk highly for saliva and blood testing, but skin testing sometimes, maybe 75% effective from what they've told us. So we're looking into things. Long story short, long story long. Oracle Persephone. Yeah, I'm kind of contradictory. Water fire mix. Yes. I imagine so. Thank y'all. All the mods are so helpful and I appreciate you. Elizabeth Me, hello. Yes, of course. Penelope is still here. Why would I erase her, Elizabeth? Was that dramatic enough for you? Lord help me. There was a cornucopia of fruit in the Fruit of the Loom logo, Whiplash. First of all, I don't know where that came from. I don't know if y'all were talking about something and I missed something, but you're damn sure right. There absolutely motherfucking was. Absolutely 100% yes. Man. What's one conspiracy theory that I 100% believe in? Ooh, I'd have to think about that. I don't know. If I can't think of something off the top of my head quick, then I'll just have to take time and get back to you some other kind of way, because I don't want to, you know, waste everybody's time while they're sitting in silence waiting for me to come up with an answer and I don't come up with something. But one that's a conspiracy theory that I 100% believe in, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Because I don't know that I would consider myself a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also not one of those people that, like, makes fun of them and, you know, chalks it up to whatever, stupid people or whatnot. I remain open. I think I'm an open skeptic to probably most conspiracy theories. I'm open to it. I want to learn about it. I want to hear it out. I may or may not believe it. And I kind of have an open-ended, like, but you can't prove it, so I don't know. But it's kind of like the thing with, I mean, with anything, like how people are like, how do you know, believing in afterlives or believing in this or that. Like, technically, if you don't have proof, then you have to be open to the fact that technically there could be nothing. But also, technically, if you don't have proof, then technically you have to be open to there could be all these things that we believe there are, you know. And so I kind of just like to stay open to any kind of way around that. So I don't pick on people for believing in those things at all, but I'm not necessarily like the one leading the pack either. But I'd have to think about that, because right now, off the top of my head, I can't think of one that I 100% believe in, but there probably is at least one that I 100% believe in. If I can't think of one real fast, then I'll quit. I just really wanted to be able to come up with something. Well, I don't know if this is considered a conspiracy theory, but by certain standards, by some people, it's considered a conspiracy theory. That in my reading, my own tarot reading, years ago in 2020, when all the COVID stuff hit, my cards said at the time that it did not come, like, oh, there was a bat in a wet market. It said there was something going on in a lab and the horse got out of the stable and people tried to figure out how to do damage control and deny things and it didn't work or whatever. And my reading said that. And I remembered getting ripped a new asshole over that really, really bad. I got called QAnon. I got called 4chan. I got called all kinds of stuff for my reading saying that. And now there's pretty common stuff coming out pointing to the fact that that is a possibility. Very well could have happened that way. There is actual, like, literal evidence that some, like, reputable news outlets are showing, like, no, there's evidence that that is a possibility, that it could have happened like that. But a lot of people did, and some still do, consider that conspiracy. But my card said that, and I said what I said, and now it's looking like it very well could be a possibility, and a lot of people would still consider that a conspiracy. But I believe my cards on that. So that's something. Don't know if it counts by, some people's standards, but there's an answer. There's me trying to come up with something right now. Susie Keezy 926, hello. Was she always allergic to things? Izzy, sexy kitten. Izzy was always a little bit on the itchier side and smellier side than my other dogs. But, like, allergic to things? No. Like, skin allergy to things? No. She was just, if like, under the radar stuff, maybe, where people wouldn't even really notice there was a problem. Like, she didn't, like, scratch any more than a typical dog would. Necessarily, everything was within the range of normal, but in a mind, looking back on it with 2020 hindsight, like, I could see some signs that maybe there would have, could have been a problem or something right underneath the surface that was going to bud out one day. And I could see stuff like that in hindsight, but nobody, no vets, nobody, no family members, no vets ever caught it before, because it just wasn't like a thing before. And now it's like very much a thing. Yeah. Aw, Lauren, I'm sorry for their little losses. And I'm just like, oh, please don't let mine go. They do take CBD. But yeah. There was too a cornucopia whiplash. Where am I coming up with that then? Where was it? What was it on? If it wasn't on that, then where was it? They say there wasn't? If it wasn't on that, then where was it? Because I swear, Lord, I so remember it. Why would everybody remember it if it wasn't a thing? Doesn't other people remember it? Well, do they not? I don't know. This is a mind fuck, I'll tell you. Wendy said, yes, ma'am, you sure did say that on the original virus reading. I remember that one, and you were right. I feel like I'm going to let that one be, but I'm just... Wendy Olsen, hello. First of all, I'll never apologize. Shut up. I say that with love. DZ, hello. Hey, from the UK. We have discussed that we heard about Boris Johnson's resignation. I don't know whether you would rather hear I'm sorry or congratulations or a mix of both about that, but whichever one of those messages you would rather, I will give that to you. Because I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not from there, but yeah. See, Jenna M says, no, I remember there being a cornucopia. Same. I'm 35 years old. There was a fucking cornucopia, dude. Okay, Terry Moore says it was just fruit, not in a cornucopia. I could accept that. Maybe. I'd have to think on it. I could accept that it was just fruit and not in one. One of the Fruit of the Loom logos pictured fruit inside a circle, which gave the illusion of a cornucopia. That's probably it. I will accept that. Okay. I'll take that. Not that anybody asked my opinion, but I'll take that. Okay, DC says that you feel like Boris Johnson did mostly good things. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a mixed bag of stuff. I've heard people be like, oh, he was a joke. He was a, whatever. And I've heard some people be like, he tried to do a lot of good and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. Oh, Kelsey Yu says a cornucopia was on their original patent. What? Why is this the mindfuck that we have fallen into today of all days, tonight of all nights? This is what the live stream is about. But it's important. This is pivotal. The future of my life depends on this. I know I'm being too much, but it's just like, what? Nikki Harrison, hello. Yeah, it could be Sexy Kitten. They're saying like there could be food allergies, environmental allergies, or flea allergies. The thing with flea allergies is she's on all the flea and mite protectants you can be on, but there are feral cats outside that the cat lady next door neighbor feeds, and it is possible that those cats have fleas and that those cats deposit fleas into the sand, and that fleas from the sand can still be biting Izzy. And even if they were to say bite her on her tummy, her whole body skin could flare up from one bite, because all it needs is just the saliva from one flea bite to inflame a whole body, and it would die immediately because she's on all the flea stuff, and so it biting her would kill it, but it would still have gotten its bite in. And so they're saying that's possible. They're also saying that environmental stuff is possible, so she's on Zyrtec twice a day for environmental allergies, and we've installed a medical grade charcoal air filter in the house so that all the air in the house gets filtered through a medical grade charcoal filter to help with environmental stuff. And then so now we're going to try the food bit and try to put her on an elimination diet and try that bit, because we're kind of coming up on all the, we're kind of hitting our limit on all the things we can try. But yeah. Gene XO. I'm going to click this. Okay, hold on. Am I allowed to? Are you sure you want to leave YouTube? I mean, I don't know if I want to leave YouTube, but I do want this thing to pull up. Maybe I can do a side click. Okay, that's what I did. Well, people are asking which one's correct. Yeah, they're saying Mandela effect from that. Mindfuck. Maybe, you know what? I don't know. I'm just gonna not maybe it to death. I'm just gonna try to not get stuck in a loop over that one. Oh, man. KGB's trying too. That's funny. Sweet Harmony, hello! Hey girl, hey, from the bushes. Hey. Yeah, it kind of makes me angry too with Flash. I get so, what? That it kind of pisses me off. But I stay mad. I'm a fire sign. I got too much fire in my chart. I stay mad. Gene XO says it never had. It might be like what was mentioned earlier, that it's that it was presented once in a circle and gave people the impression that it was a cornucopia at some point or something. I don't know. Crazy. Oh, man. I don't know the best place to get better understanding of the sun, moon, and rising. People have various, places that they feel like explains things better. I tend to just start Googling stuff and reading all kinds of things until I feel like I've got a good understanding, and I'm not sure what I've Googled. Like, I don't know what websites I've looked at for that. Terry Moore said, I made a cornucopia out of crescent rolls for Thanksgiving. That's brilliant. And I bet your Thanksgiving table looked lovely. And that's awesome. And I hope you took pictures. Decent, your birthday's on Halloween. That's a cool ass birthday. I mean, you may or may not like it being on that date. Some people have a hard time with their birthdays being like on holiday type dates, big important days. It can get overlooked. But that's cool to me. If it does feel like the overlooked thing, I can understand. My birthday this year was on Easter, and Easter totally eclipsed my birthday, and in a way that felt good, and in a way that felt like shit. So I have been live for an hour and a half, y'all. Wow. You know what? Here. Let me just go ahead and pull up the cards. Well, let me pull up these ones. Let's do it this way. Because I did say I was going to look into something positive. Now, I am not entirely sure that Morgan Adams is still here. In fact, I imagine she is not. Though she's the one that mentioned this idea. So I feel bad if I talked so long that she had to leave and she might miss out on this idea. But she suggested asking the guides for some positive stuff, like, just give us some information on some positives that we can look forward to, because it's a bit of a shit show right now. It's a bit of a hard time right now, and we just want a little bit of positives to look forward to, and just, a brief little mini read on that. So I'm going to do that since we've been here for an hour and a half, and I probably need to reel it on in and start winding it down before too long. But I will look that you said here. Okay, I have DC says, I like it about your Halloween birthday. Awesome. Trisha Marie says, Google is our friend. I need a shirt that just says, I don't know, Google it. Right? But I don't want to give them more money in a way. But yeah. But GeneXO said they had a trademark, the TM symbol, that had a basket or a cornucopia written in the description, but they canceled it. Canceled in 88. I was 1 year old. Very interesting. Very interesting. Shayla Lukatich, hello! Hello. Alright, we're just doing a quick thing for spirit guides. We all are in a time right now where it could help us to have a little bit of positivity, help us to have a little bit of some, good feel goods coming over here. So what, if anything, can you give us to let us know of something, positive coming up, or, give us a little lift some kind of way? How would you like to go about doing that, spirit guides? We could use that. Thank you. Let's see what they have to say. Wow, okay. I will take that. Those fell out, so I'm going to take them. Okay. So, first of all, context. Let me get a little context on this one right here. Boo. This one right here. Alright, right here. Ooh. I need another one on that. Alright. So this one is kind of a may not feel the most positive, but it technically is, but we've got feel positives for the other. So I think we'll forgive them for giving us one that's a little bit sticky, since technically the other ones are not sticky at all. They're straightforward. So I think we'll give that grace. Thank you, spirit guides. Okay, so right here, they're saying that we're coming up on some times where people are getting into the whole something's gotta give type of mood, where we're like, no, seriously, I am willing to put in some sort of action, effort, something to get to this point, because something's got to give. Like, fine, tell me what to do, tell me what to say, tell me how to advocate, tell me how to vote, tell me how to whatever, because something's got to give. And people are getting closer to that. By virtue of getting closer to that, we are getting closer to the something's got to give moment in a positive way. We are getting closer to positive shifts coming around in whatever pockets that they may. And it feels like there's going to be multiple pockets here. So there may be a shift point in a certain industry. There may be a shift point in a certain government. May be a shift point in a certain country's economic system, whatever. It seems like there's multiple pockets of little shift points in a positive way that come about from people being so pissed off with the current. And so that's positive. It's like I said here, this is going to not necessarily feel the best to get through it, but it's actually a positive thing. That's what this is saying, that people are going to start to feel like taking more action, doing more concrete things, like physically in their life, doing things, making some deliberate decisions in a very real, practical, physical way that might include not being on the same page with other people, might include some conflict, might include some not seeing eye to eye, but it's a calling that they feel called to do, and that is going to bring about some positive changes. And so what they're putting in my head, as an example, let's say, as an example, with a lot of people being really upset or nervous or scared around all of the stuff that happened with undoing Roe versus Wade. There's people that might go through this process right here and make positive impacts, things that will help people. And it might not be things that everybody, feels like, oh, well, we can't do it this way and this, all this contentious crap. There might be some certain things that people are like, you know what? Actually, we can kind of all agree on some of those things. Like some of those things, yeah, we all kind of see eye to eye on. And so it might be like, let's say there's a state that has such strict rules on it that even people who are against the idea of the A word that I'm not allowed to say, or I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, abortion, even if there's a state that most people are very against that, there might be some kind of certain things, adjustments that could be made, tweaks that could be made, that they're like, even I agree with those things, that those things could be helpful to people or life-saving to people, or those are things that we should carve out as exceptions, or, XYZ, you name it. And so I see people like kind of figuring a way to make some positive shift points. And again, that's just one example. There's other countries that this is going to happen with. There's other sectors or industries or whatever that this is going to happen with. And we're going to start seeing this play out in a very real and tangible way. And so things that are currently considered as shitty are going to have moments of being able to kind of shift and turn around just a little bit in a positive direction, because of people being like, no, I put my foot down about that one now. Now, out of all the things I might not gripe about, I'm putting my foot down about that one. And so they will. And it will result in positive changes. They're being called to do so. So, again, that can apply to a lot of different things in a lot of different places. We're going to see those positive things shake out. More positive here is strength card here. People feeling like we're wrangling some stuff. And getting to where more, how do I put this? More shit's gonna come out that actually helps us to move forward. So there's certain things right now that maybe a certain section of people know about it or consider it a rumor or things like that, but it's not like out, not in like a mainstream acceptable way. It looks like we're coming up on times where certain things will be more out and mainstream in a way that it kind of purges all of this stuff that has been trying to get pushed down or pushed away or pushed aside, and it has to come to light. And in those ways, it's very freeing. And it's like, okay, now we can work with that. We can't work with hiding and lies, but we can work with that. We can work with truth. We can move forward with that. And the High Priestess here, again, it's so interesting that like this card is the end of this row and this card is the end of this row. It's a very beautiful way to pair that up, because this is a calling, as in like the spirit guides and angels and archangels, God force energy calling onto us. But this is a spiritual calling from like our own higher self to ourselves. It's like an internal stream of calling. So literally the ending cards on both of these have to do with a higher calling in a spiritual sense. But this one is kind of the external energies like the angels and archangels and God force energy, whereas this one is like ourselves in higher form. And so we're going to be receiving a lot of callings in a spiritual way, very loud and very clear. Maybe not always the most comfortable way to receive a calling, because sometimes callings come in the form of should have had a V8 type of moment. But nonetheless, the outcomes of these things are very quite positive. Whoa, I don't know if y'all heard that thunder. As I literally just said this, that thunder went crazy loud, which is a very interesting time for it to do that. As Bodhi comes in here scared. Are you scared, baby? Did you get scared? Come in. Oh my goodness, my chunky monkey. My chunky monkey, did you get scared by the thunder? Yes, you did. Oh my. Did y'all hear him? He went, oh my. Did it make the boy nervous? You okay? Okay. Just sit in mommy lap. So, very interesting. Gonna be maybe not the easiest process, but the callings will be clear. The callings will be intense. They will come from every freaking direction, and we will answer them, and the outcomes from that are gonna be solid, like noticeably positive. And so this feels good. This feels good overall. I feel like this makes sense. Oh God, the lights are flashing. If the video gets knocked off, I love you, mean it. And I'll see you next time. I figure I just need to say that because the lights just flickered. So if the storm knocks out my power, love you, mean it, and I'll see you next time. So I'll wrap this up. You know, technically we probably could pull more and stuff and get a more thorough message, but I don't want to risk it here. I don't want to risk being knee deep into telling you the meaning of something and then everything go out, because that's happened when I was filming a video before. It pissed me the hell off. So let me catch up on some comments here. Let's see. Huh. Y'all, I love that y'all are still talking about the cornucopia. I love it. You heard it? You heard it, Trisha Marie? You heard the thunder? Could y'all hear that from here? Like, because I didn't know if y'all could actually hear it. That was fucking thunder. Here. Yeah. Yeah, he just needs mama's love to feel better. I'm just petting the boy down here, giving him some loves and pets. So, yeah, I know Scooter's even more scared than he is, but Scooter's in the kitchen. The others are in the kitchen too. He should be in the kitchen. I really don't know how he's free. I must have left one out when I was putting all the cattle back in their pen. I must have left one out by accident. Because he should be in there with them. I don't know how he's free. So, anywho, I think just out of abundance of caution, I don't want the live stream to cut us off. I've been live for an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours. So I will wind it down here and bring it to a close. I reckon Mother Nature says it's time to end, and I will check on the other puppies because I know Scooter's scared, I'm sure, and I want to help them out. Plus, over here on the East Coast, it's almost 8 o'clock at night, and that's their little supper time. They start getting hungry around 7, and we feed them around 7:30 or 8, so I reckon I'll feed them their little supper too. But yeah, Terry Moore says it's thundering there too. Sexy Kitten said she heard the thunder. Mary G said yes, we heard the thunder. Gene XO said, oh, I thought it was thunder from where I live. KGB said, yeah, I heard a boom. We have thunder in Colorado too. Thunder in Indiana with whiplash. I'm not a cowgirl. By cattle, I mean this thing. I call him cattle because he's a thick boy. He's a thick boy. And he's got like cow-like spots on his underside. I know I'm blocking this part out. But you see he's got like cow-like spots on his underside. And he's a thick boy. So I call him my cattle. But it's not... I'm referring to Chihuahuas and a Shih Tzu. So it doesn't count as a cowgirl. It doesn't count. It's 3 Chihuahuas and a Shih Tzu, Jamel. It don't count. Thank you everyone for being here and supporting B. Have a wonderful day and night. I agree, Gene XO, and thank you. So thank y'all for everything, and hope y'all have a good rest of your evening. There goes the thunder again. So I'm gonna go save these little babies that are scared and turn all this off before the lightning does it for me and makes me reboot. And I reckon I will see y'all again. Mary G, camera adds 10 pounds. This thing is 11 pounds and he shouldn't be. Needs to be more like 9 pounds. If camera's adding 10 pounds, this poor thing's 20 pounds by now. And thank you again to the mods, everybody who's modded. I know Gene XO and Whiplash have been modding, and I'm grateful. So thank you all. Thank you everybody. And I reckon I will talk at you later. So don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and we'll talk at you later.